Oh, hello class. Let's go ahead and go over the quiz review for first section and the second section of chapter 3. So the first thing they're asking us to do is find the quotient. In other words, get the answer to the division problem. And remember, anytime we're dividing or if we have a fraction, it's in, out. So the numerator is going to go inside and the denominator is going to be on the outside. So we can write x plus 3 on the outside, and the inside we will write x squared plus 5x minus 10. So as you can see, we'd ask ourselves, okay, what do I have to multiply x by to get x squared? Well, that's going to be x. So x times x is x squared. X times 3 would be positive 3x. Then we're going to go ahead and subtract the x squared and subtract the 3x. And by doing that, we get x squared plus a negative x squared, or subtract x squared will give us 0. And positive 5x plus a negative 3x will actually give us 2x. Bring down the negative 10. Notice the negative or the minus goes with the 10. And now we ask ourselves, okay, what we have to multiply this x by to get 2x. Now to do that, we have to multiply that by 2, just the 2, and it has to be a positive 2, so that's why we're going to put a plus 2 on top. Well, 2 times x is 2x. 2 times 3 would actually be positive 6. And so again, by adding those, we're going to do the opposite. So we're going to subtract that and subtract the following. So we get 2x minus 2x, which is 0. And then negative 10 plus a negative 10, negative 6 is going to be negative 16. So our answer is going to be the dividend times the quotient, which means we have x plus 3 times x plus 2, and then we do have a remainder, so we're going to add a negative 16 divided by our original divisor, which means we get x plus 3. So that's going to be our answer for the letter A in problem 1. Let's look at letter B. Same concept. We'll start with our denominator, which is going to be on the outside, so it'll be x minus 2. On the inside, we have x to the third. Now, however, notice we are missing x squared, so we're going to add a 0x squared. Where then we do have plus 5x, and then minus 2, which is our constant. So asking ourselves, what do we have to multiply x by to get x to the third? That would be x squared, which gives us x to the third minus 2x squared. So go ahead and subtract that, and then this is actually going to be added. So we're going to change the subtraction to addition. So x to the third minus x to the third gives us 0. 0x squared plus 2x squared will give us positive 2x squared. Now remember, we want to bring this down, and we get positive 5x added to the 2x squared. Now I'm going to go ahead and ask myself, okay, what do I have to multiply x by to get x squared? Well, that would be 2x. And when I multiply those out, I get 2x times x, which is 2x squared. 2x times negative 2 would be negative 4x. And now I'm going to go ahead and change the sign. So that would be a minus now, and that again becomes plus. So 2x squared minus 2x squared gives you 0, so those cancel out. And then positive 5x plus 4x will give us 9x. which then we can bring down the -2. And ask ourselves, okay, what do we have to multiply x by to get 9x? Well, that would be a positive 9. So that gives us 9x. And then 9 times -2 would be -18. And again, we're going to go ahead and change the sign. So that would be -x, and then that becomes positive. So 9x minus 9x will give us 0. And then -2 plus 18 will give us positive 16. So my answer is going to be x minus 2 times x squared plus 2x plus 9 plus the remainder, which is 16, divided by x minus 2. And that is going to be our answer for this problem, for letter B in example 1. Okay, the following is asking us to graph the following equation using the following polynomial. So we have p of y to the third plus 2y squared minus 9y minus 18. So first thing is they're asking us about the end behavior. And remember, we have to look at the first term and the coefficients of that first term. Notice the coefficient is a positive and the degree is an odd degree. So when you have an odd degree, you know they're either one side is gonna go up and the other side is gonna go down. And we just have to make sure which one is going up. Is it the left side that's going to be going up, or the right hand side is going to be going up? So we have to make that decision because the other one will be going down. If the degree was an even number like y to the fourth, then we know it's either going to go both the right and left is going to go up, or the right and left is going to go down. So make sure you know the difference between the degrees and when it goes up and down. Because this is a positive coefficient, there's a positive 1 here right in front of that y to the third. Since it's a positive and it's an odd degree, that tells us that the left side will be going down and the right side will be going up. Again, the left side is going to be going down and the right side is going to be going up. Okay, factor form, which means we have to factor this. Well, the only way to factor this is by grouping. So let's start off with factor by grouping. So this will actually give us the following. So let's see what we can factor out of the first parenthesis. Well, we have y to the third plus 2y squared, so we can factor out a y squared, which would leave us with y plus 2. That would be my first factor. And then I have to ask myself, what can I factor out of the second one? Notice there's a negative in front, which means I can factor out a negative. And more specifically, I can actually factor out a -9. So I can factor out a -9, which then gives me the remainder, or whatever's left, is going to be y plus 2 as well. Since I have y plus 2, I can factor that out. You get y plus 2. And then what's left would be what's in red, which is y squared minus 9. Please note that y squared minus 9 is also factorable. This is what we call difference of squares. So when we're done, we'll get the following: y plus 2 times y minus 3 and y plus 3. So that factors to that. Now factor form. So when we write our answer here, it will be y plus 2, y minus 3 and y plus 3. Now we're asked to find the x and the y-intercept. Well, the x-intercept is going to be as follows. X-intercept is going to equal to, okay, remember it's the factors, these factors when I set them equal to 0. In other words, I set y equals to 0 and I solve for them. In our case, we would have y plus 2 equals to 0, y minus 3 equals to 0, and y plus 3 is also equal to 0. Even though it is in terms of y, remember this is just a variable, so it could also be in x to the third, y to the second power, and 9x. So again, just because we changed the variable here does not mean the problem gets changed in terms of which is x and which is y. So our x-intercept is going to be these factors here that are set to equal to 0. So y plus 2 would actually, when we solve for that, we get negative 2. Then y plus 3, when we solve for that, we get negative 3. And y minus 3 will give us positive 3. So that's going to be my x-intercepts. Those are my zeros. To find the y-intercept, we have to set my x's equals to 0. In this term, it's actually the y's. So when I set those equal to 0, I get negative 18 as my answer. So now it's asking us to plot the points. Well, to plot the points, we have to go to the actual graph and plot those points. So remember, what are my points? Well, my first 0 is x at negative 3. So that's 1, 2, and negative 3. That's going to be my first 0. My second 0 is at x is negative 2. So that's going to be my second 0. And then my third 0 is a positive 3. So it's going to be here. Now I do have a y-intercept at negative 18. So it'll be somewhere up here. And I'm just going to estimate negative 18 here. So again, this is just an estimation. Let me do this a better job here. So let's just extend this down this way and make this negative 18. So now my new point will be at negative 18 here. Now remember what we said about the end behaviors. The end behaviors, the left side is going to be going down, the right side is going to be going up. So that means somewhere along these lines, somewhere through these points, sorry, it skipped on me, somewhere through these points, okay, this thing is going to be going down on the left side and this thing is going to be going up on the right side. So that's what we have to pay attention for. The other thing, if you recall from our notes, previous notes, is that if I have an odd number of roots, that means it's going to go through the point. And if I have an even number of the same roots, it's going to bounce off the point. Since I only have a negative 2, a negative 3, and a 3, none of them are repeating, so there is no even amount of roots or no even amount of zeros. Therefore, there is no point that it's going to bounce off of. This is going to be a situation where all of them is going to go through the points. So notice what happens. That means if I start down on the left side, so I'm going to have something like this. I'm going to be going, well, it's going to be going down. So if I go backwards, it has to go through this point, and then it has to come back and go through this point, and somewhere along the line, it's going to have to go through the y-intercept, and come back out and go through that point. So my graph should be approximately something like so. And again, this is not a perfect graph, but if you were to use a graphing calculator, you'll get the similar picture. But as you can see, it went through all my points. None of them bounced off the points because we didn't have any even ones. All of them went through the point. So there's our graph. There's the information you're asked to find A, B, C. We did D to plot the points, and we also did E to graph the actual graph. So if you have any questions, you can email me or ask Ms. Gonzalez for any specific additional help. Have a wonderful day, guys. Enjoy. And good luck on your quiz.